Hey, I'm Noodle Yeti, and welcome to Cardinalia. Today, we'll be expanding our educational system to include the next two higher levels, college and university. To add to these, I'd like to provide adequate student housing and available leisure. One of my favorite memories attending the local community college was the fancy coffee shops and donut shops, and I'd like to give these students something similar to that. The reason is, well, because our commercial zones used to be suffering from not enough customers. Our increase in industry and population seems to have subsided this for the most part. However, we still need to further our education, and here's why. Last time, as an attempt to fix our not enough customers issue, we added industry and increased its efficiency. The more efficient we made it, the higher level that it can achieve, meaning the higher level jobs it can offer. Unfortunately, those same higher level jobs require higher educated citizens, and with our current system, we won't be able to satisfy that. It's important for us to meet this demand because it affects the building's efficiency. The higher level the job, the higher the impact. And the higher the education required, the more money that citizen makes to spend at our commercial zones. Well, hopefully that means that, and hopefully it means that it will clear up our final complaining commercial building. So enough of all that explanation, let's actually get into planning. I was thinking we could put the college over here with a nice commercial square across the way with lots of student housing and even a few offices. On the other side of the street, where we have our elementary and high school, I was thinking we could extend out this arterial and place the university on the hillside. And to help kind of fill in this area around it, we could tuck a bunch of low rent and medium density housing, as well as commercial and offices. Now, I can't do all of this without offering some low density housing for the staff, and I was thinking we could fill in with some fancy neighborhoods just past the water pumping station. On top of all that, I think this would be a perfect opportunity to fill in this block with public transportation and commercial zones, to finally fill out this starting area. So now that we know what we're doing and why, let's actually get into building. Alright, so the first part of that plan that we just came up with that I'd like to get done first would actually be the third level of education. I mean, after all, we already have the first and the second, so it would make sense to go with the third. And I would actually like it, well, I think I showed in the plan where I wanted it, which is going to be right across the street here. And I was thinking about taking a medium 4-lane road right off of here and bringing it out somewhere about halfway. Maybe right about there. I think that guideline is close enough. And going ahead and slapping down a medium roundabout there. Now, the reason why I want this is because if we come in here with a 2-lane road, bring it off of here, let's just do an arbitrary distance here. Maybe we can come off of here to right about there as well. But the reason why is because I was thinking about putting the college on this side up here. And then from the entrance of the college, we can align it with this road and then have it stare off into the other side where we'll have all of our student housing. And right around the center of this whole area, maybe right about there looks close enough, and we can go ahead and put down another medium roundabout. Right around here is where I would like to have a kind of like a town square almost, where you'll have like all the mixed, what's it called? The mixed use, where they have the commercial building on the bottom with the apartments on the top. And I think that would be pretty cool. All the way within sight of the college where all the kids can hang out, go shopping and whatnot. I think that would be kind of cool and nice. But unfortunately, I don't know how I want the rest of the roads to go in here or how I'm even going to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and time-lapse the road building, and well, I hope you enjoy. I'll be right back. All right, with the roads out of the way here, I think we could start to see what's going to happen over here. Now, of course, we can't make this a little college area without actually buying the college, so let's go ahead and do that first. We'll come in here, we'll grab it, and let's see if we can align it with this road coming off right at the end here. Let's see how well we did, and I'd say we did pretty well. That looks like it's very well in line with that. And you can see if they're down here and they look across, they'd be able to look in between the rows of the buildings there and see the square down over there and all the people enjoying themselves. Although looking at it, it looks like this roundabout right here in front of us should be a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that. Ooh, let's go ahead and try and scooch this parking lot over one more space here. Maybe right there is enough. So let's go ahead and try that. That is enough. And then this is where we get into the zoning. So I think I'm just going to snap my fingers and have the zoning done up. But to kind of say what I'm going to do is I want the mixed use buildings all along this this square here and all along the main roads coming out of it. And then everywhere else, I think I'm just going to mix up low rent housing, medium density, and offices and commercial. So that's what I'm thinking. I think it'll look really good. And I will be right back. All right, here we are. And looks like we got a little bit of crime going on there, but that's okay. Looking at this with the way I've zoned it in, I'll admit I'm not too happy with it. There's too many of the big tall buildings. I should have just kept them local to the square here and then gone out towards the outside with a lot of the lower stuff like regular commercial and offices. But for now, you know what? I think we'll be okay. There's a lot of empty spaces in here that later on when I go back with like trees and things like that, we could fill in and make this look a little bit prettier. And same with all the pathways to make this a little bit more walkable, I guess. But I'm liking this. It's looking really good. And I was thinking this actually reminds me of a university near me called Chapman University. They have a circle or square just down the street from them called like, I think the Circle of Orange or something like that. And this really reminds me of it. And I think it's a great addition. I really like it. And I like that I was able to incorporate it here. We can come down from in front of the university here and we could see all the way down into it, see all the buildings lined, even the square where maybe people can petition to have it cordoned off during holidays and have celebrations over here. And I really like it. I'm thinking it's good, and I'm glad I got to put this into the city. Now, of course, with the addition of a university, we do need to think about all of the staff that are going to work there. And I doubt that they're going to want to live here in this very noisy area over here. Oh, looks like we're in the middle of an autosave. So I was thinking of building out a low density neighborhood for them. And looks like, you know what? I think the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to buy the entire island here. We're just going to go ahead and maybe start from right here, swing it all the way down over there and just click purchase. And there we go. We have the entire island. Now we don't have to worry about any squares over here ever again. But I think I remember in the plan that I said in the beginning, I want the low density neighborhood over here just to the left of this arterial. And I think I would like to have this one keep on going down. We're going to turn on our contours so we could follow along here. We'll bring it maybe to right about here. But this is where things get a little bit tricky. I think we're going to need to get out our landscaping tools here. Shrink down the size of this brush here. And kind of widen out this pad down here a little bit. Not too much, maybe something like that. Just something for now. We're not going to keep on going down that way. And then we're going to want to do our slope terrain tool. So I'm going to come from the end of this road up here. And from here, I'm going to just slowly drag it up and over until we are able to connect it up and in. Just like that. And I think from here, we can go ahead and then take our arterial road that we were using and just kind of... Ooh, actually, we should start from the bottom. We should go ahead and put it maybe straight to right about here. And then we can take our curve tool and have it come straight up into this one right here. Just like that. And now we can take our soften terrain tool and just kind of soften out all these awkward cliffed edges that we just made. And there we go. Now we have our arterial, and we've essentially outlined where this next neighborhood's going to go. Now, I'm not going to waste a whole bunch of time talking about why I do low density neighborhoods. I pretty much just try and follow road hierarchy and get it all in there. Now, I know this one's going to take a lot of time because as you can see, there is a lot of contour lines. And I guess I'll kind of just quickly mention what I'm going to do. I'm going to be taking these alleys because I want this to have like a high or kind of like a bougie feel, like a very high-end neighborhood kind of feel to it. So, and I don't know about you, but all the high-end neighborhoods I've been to, they typically don't have sidewalks. They have these really cheap pavement roads that they have in their area. But then again, their houses are like millions of dollars. So what I was going to do is I was going to kind of bring this along, follow a contour line, and then come in with my landscaping tools here to a really small brush size and kind of push the land out just a little bit from the road here. Not on the hillside, but on the side coming out from the road that pushes out into, or that makes these pads or whatever. And the reason why is because I want these people to have their own unobstructed view of the water from every tier that we create going up, where the next tier is able to look out and over their homes, or the homes beneath them out into the water. And I just kind of want to have this like be a really nice, rich feeling area. So that's what I'm going to do, and I will be right back. I guess I'll time lapse it so you could see what's going on, but I'll just immediately zone it right after. So I guess I'll just include the growing time lapse after that as well. Alright, well, while I was mid-time lapse here, we happened to reach milestone 7. It says, congratulations, things are looking good. We are now busy town. We got $1.6 million reduce, 7 stars, and 9 squares. So let's go ahead and look at the progression panel, see what we unlocked. We got a new loan limit, ore mining, and a gated community. I don't think we're going to be using any of that today, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump right back into the time lapse, so I will be right back. Alright, so here we are. We've got the neighborhood all done up, and I am pretty happy. Now, I decided to go with the European low density for this neighborhood, simply because we already have the NA, I believe, signature building for low density, and I'd like to get the EU one as well. Now, I'm really liking this. If we look out the backyards of these, well, we can't really get low to the ground enough to really see, but at least it appears that they're able to look out and above their lower tier neighbors' houses. And I think from here, all we have to do is really just add trees and pathways and whatnot, just to kind of help these people out a little bit. Now, one thing I just realized I forgot was things like parks, but that's okay. We can go ahead and take care of that later. But one thing that this did bring up was an issue throughout the city. And this is something that I'd actually like to talk about, because if we click on some of these ones that are complaining about high rent and we look at it, you could see that the building consists of 1 senior and 1 child. Click on another one. It's 1 adult, 1 teen, 1 child. And continue on. We can keep on looking at these where it's 1 adult, 1 child, another single parent. I'm not quite sure what to do here, because if we look at this, I think how we can help out the senior with the child as well as the single parents is to invest a point into, I believe it's the welfare office. If we go into our development tree here, we go into police and administration, go ahead and buy the welfare office. But I think that's what we need to do next, is focus on welfare. So I was thinking that someplace maybe right here behind the high school, we can go ahead, just come through here, go into our, or is it police tab? We can go into our government. And then we can just whip out our welfare office here. And I'd actually like to face it away from the high school. Maybe we can think about right about there. I think that's good enough. And then from here, we're going to want to create our roads. Snap it right to the front using our building snapping thingy. Oop, we're on curved road, my bad. And just put it down something like that. And then from here, we're going to have to fill in the roads here. Now, I was thinking because we are struggling with high rent, as well as a lot of those people who are struggling being single parents and whatnot, that we could fill in this area around here maybe with a couple low rent apartments. Maybe signify, you know, welfare office, low rent. We're really trying to help out, give them that ease of access right to the welfare office. So I'm going to go ahead and yet again just, well, actually I'm not going to do time lapse this time. I'm just going to snap my fingers and have it all be done. So I will be right back. All right, here we are. I got it all nice and done. Neat and tidy looking. Well, neat and tidy enough, I'd say. Now, it looks like I accidentally used a lot of the EU for medium density and low density, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I kind of like this. You know, we got the alleyways on both sides to get people in and out. I've given them all plenty of parking. Well, actually, I believe it says there's 82 stalls on this side, and I think there's over 80 households right here. And remember, households can mean more than one adult. So there might not actually be enough parking, but I think that's something we could take care of later with public transportation. But I'm liking it, and I think it really lends into the idea that this is an area just to help people out. Maybe for all those single parents and grandparent guardians to go ahead and find a really cheap and affordable place to live. I've even included a few commercial buildings as well as a few offices over here, just to kind of maybe lend to the idea that this might be like a, I don't know, some kind of a rent office or apartment complex office or something for this whole area or something like that. I don't know. Maybe these are some offices that help out with the welfare or something. I don't know, but we can use our imaginations for sure. And that is that. And I'm thinking next we probably want to go ahead and build out this transportation area, because I think as soon as we start adding in a lot more of the university and even more high density commercial over here, or not high density commercial, but high density living over here, we're going to see an increase in traffic. And I would like to get one step ahead of that. Now, I was thinking that we could come down right into here and we can just take maybe the one lane, one way road here. And I was thinking we can come up from here, come out a couple squares, come down to about over here, hook it back up into the road just like that. And then we come into our bus thing and we take our bus lanes and our upgrade tool and we just replace the lane there to be bus only. And then we can take our bus depot and we can just slap it down, I think right about there, if I saw that correctly, and I did. Looks like we've got it centered enough. And wow, it looks like people already are just flocking to park all over this street here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to come into here and turn on a parking fee, just to make sure that the only people who actually park here are people who want to be here. Now I think in order to keep with the flow, let's go ahead and just go back to NA, put down our NA bus stop shelter, and I'm thinking we want one right around over here. Let's say right in front of this elementary school. And ooh, that just reminded me of something. We want to make sure that this is lined up correctly. So it turns out that buses come in from the left side over here, park, and then come out from the right. And the way we have it is they're coming in from the right. So we need to swap this around. And there we go. Now everybody will come in from the left, exit through the right, and things will be a lot smoother here. But anyways, back to the buses. Because of that, we get into a view we can see, because of the schools are on the left side of this, I don't think we should actually have the bus stop on this right-hand side. I think we should actually have it on the high school side. And that is kind of unfortunate because that means that all those elementary all those elementary kids are going to have to cross the street here. But it's a good thing we've got bus lanes, we got the Pelican crosswalk, and we can use our imaginations that maybe we have a crossing guard there or something. And then from here, I was thinking we can go ahead and just drop a bus stop, maybe right over here on the college side of the street. And then we can turn this into a bus route. Now, what's kind of interesting is the fastest route for the elementary school is to actually go back down this main road and cross over itself, which I don't know if I like that. I think maybe if we have the opportunity to come in and drag a waypoint, maybe we can put the waypoint in over there and force it to come in from that side so we don't have all that conflict of traffic going on there. And I think that'll really help this out, help it flow just a little bit better. And now for the next route, I think we should come in over here. You can see we got all the fancy pathways in from last time, so I think we can make this really simple and just go ahead and throw down a bus stop over here. I'm thinking maybe we can just put it right here, right before the Pelican crosswalk there, and then just create a simple 2-stop route here where they can go from work to home and back to work, something like that. Go ahead and look at the line here. Let's see what it looks like. So, but I think we can see that it is in fact crossing over itself. So yet again, we'll take the waypoint, move it over here, and there we go. Now it's no longer crossing over itself. And I'm thinking that's doing pretty good. Now, of course, we could do all these routes for things like going over into this low density neighborhood, but I wanted to show you something kind of funny, I think. Or if we click on this building here and we look at why they're happy, it says walking distance to elementary school +5. I don't know about you, but that is a very long walk to an elementary school. Maybe the kids want to walk there. I don't know. That just seems really far. But if that is considered walking distance in this game, I'm fairly certain that these people who live over here would find this bus station within walking distance. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that alone. And I think that's good enough for now. Now I think when we come through here, we can go ahead and just line it with some commercial buildings. I'm just going to go ahead and go into fill mode here and just... Ooh, I don't know if I want to just start filling it in just yet. I think I might want to come through here with some pathways here. Alright, like I said, I'd snap my fingers and the paths will be done. But while I was doing that, I got to thinking, maybe we can go ahead and put down like a small, or let's go with a medium parking lot actually, right about over here. And I'm thinking right there is pretty good. That could act as the parking lot for this particular bus depot or whatever, and maybe even the commercial center over here. And then around it, I was thinking about putting in some low density housing over here. Not a whole lot. Let's go with just 2 low density buildings over here, maybe one right there and one right there. And now we can come back in over here and finish with our commercial zoning here. And then I think that's going to be perfectly fine. Something that I'm going to be happy with. And there we go. We got our little bus depot there. And then as we expand, we can create more bus lines that go to important places. Like actually, I think there is one more important bus line that we could do. So let's go here. We're going to take up this rightmost one. And we're just going to drag it all the way out of town over here to right there. Come right back into town here. Hook it up. And then do one for the other city, or the other end of the highway. Now, all right, now that we've got that done, one of the things we want to be conscious about is how many buses are on each route. Now, we can't actually get it down to 1 bus per route, but what we can do is we could just go through here and just lower the assigned vehicles down to something that might be a bit more reasonable. Especially since we do have a limited amount of buses per bus depot, and I really don't want to have to add in any of the expansions to it just yet. I don't think our city's big enough for any of that, so we're just going to leave it all absolutely minimal. Now, we are having another issue over here where if we come to this one, we could see ground pollution, which is obviously from the landfill. And well, what I plan to do about ground pollution is actually to expand the expand it. Oddly enough, I know that might not seem intuitive or whatever, but let me explain here in a second, and I will just give me the time of day. 1 second here. So now that we've expanded it, we've increased our capacity. We do have we have a few upgrade options. This one is the waste recycling unit, and it cuts its ground pollution in half by 50%. Now, if we do look at this, we have a processing speed of about 80 and we have stored garbage of way more than 80. So I'm thinking we actually need to do the next upgrade that increases its processing speed, which is going to be this hazardous waste collection point. Now, it does look like it does offer more land or more pollutions, but that's okay. We'll just go ahead and throw it down in there. And that is actually the reason why we expanded the place first, because now that we put this building inside of our landfill, we can no longer expand it. We can no longer move this stuff around. It is now permanently stuck in its shape, all because we added that one building. But that's okay. Now that we've cut down on our land pollution, this complaint should clear up eventually. And I think we're ready to actually move into the university now. The final bit of education, the final level. All right, so for the university here, I think what we're going to want to do is just go ahead and... Oh, wait, that's right. We actually have to buy it first. So we have to go into our education here, unlock the university, and then we can go ahead and think about a place to put this down. Now, this is a massive thing, and I happen to already know that its attachments or expansions are also really massive. So we're gonna need to save some space somewhere, and I'm thinking we might want to turn this kind of a little bit sideways in here, maybe something like that. Back it up against the hill, and here I'm just gonna put it down so I could show you. So once it's down here, we can kind of zoom in. Oh, we can't view the contours anymore. Let's get into a place where we can. We have some space on the left side here to maybe put down one expansion, and then even on the right we'll have some space over here. Now I was thinking that if we come into it, the expansion I would put on the side would be the plaza here. And I think that would actually be really cool. Now the reason why I like this idea is because then when the students come out and hang out on the plaza, maybe we can clear some space of the trees and they'll have a really cool view of maybe the waterfront down here, where later we can add like a commercial zone or something over here. And I think that would be a really nice connection into the outside. Now this plaza here does have an upkeep of 40,000 a month, but it does have an attractiveness of 10 and it provides plus 20 outdoor recreation. But aside from that, that is the location that I would like for our university. I actually don't know if I wanted the outdoor plaza just yet, but you know what? I'm just going to live with it now. And I know that we're going to want some housing in between here. Now, I would like to imagine that this is a mix of, I don't know, maybe some medium density student housing. Maybe we can mix in offices and commercial buildings and pretend they're like sub buildings of the university for certain classes. And then we could also pretend that this giant football field that we bought for the high school kind of makes sense, where we can pretend that they might just share this stadium or whatever for whatever they do. So anyways, I actually have no idea how I want the roads laid out in here just yet, or what I'm going to do with this arterial. So I think I'm going to time lapse this and I will be right back. So as I was going around town after that, just kind of reading info views and whatnot, it appears that we've hit milestone 8. Big town. Congratulations, the city is coming along nicely. They gave us $1.9 million reduce, 8 stars and 10 squares. Let's see what they gave us in the progression panel. If it'll load, it gave us a new loan limit. It gave us some high density and oil drilling. Now I am kind of excited for this. We will have to see what happens and when we use it, but that will definitely not be today. So I think now that we have checked out the new milestone, I think something we want to do is actually add in a new bus stop. Now I want it to be kind of like a one-stop shop right here, right to the university. So we're going to put one bus stop there. We're going to add our line to it. bring it all the way back over here to our bus station, and just then let it do its thing. I think we might have to go back around though with a waypoint. Think maybe right around. Oh yeah, we do. You can see it crossing over. Let its waypoint over here, and that should take care of it. And now I think we should go around and kind of check up on how everything's doing. I mean, we've pretty much done everything I wanted to get done today, which was add in a college, add in a university, and add in a bunch of housing and commercial for these new students. So let's go ahead and take a look at start with our elementary school, which it looks, wow. Right, so we're almost full on this, and I think as some preparation here, we should probably buy the extension wing for this. And it's about 960 out of 1,500 students now. That is actually pretty crazy, pretty wild if you ask me. And I think maybe that might mean soon, I don't know about now, but I think soon we should probably think about adding the children's clinic. I don't know if I want to do that today. Now let's go ahead and look at our high school. I'm kind of dumbfounded about this. I was expecting, especially if we're going from 965 elementary school students, that we would have more than 137 high school students. But I mean, really, what are you going to do, you know? So I think we'll just go ahead and leave that alone. They're at 138, whatever, that's fine. Now let's come over here and look at our college. This is actually doing this is actually doing a lot better than our high school with 546 students, although it has a dropout rate that is double. I mean, granted, it's 1% more, but still, double is double. And now let's go ahead and look at our university, which is kind of in the same position as high school, where it's only like 140 something people going here. I don't know, maybe everybody's just coming and going in waves. Like maybe as soon as all of these elementary school students graduate and turn into teenagers, then we'll see the high school get swamped. And same thing, once everybody at the college graduates, we'll see the university get swamped. Maybe that's what's going on. But either way, I'm happy with what we've done. Well, yeah, you know what? I think I'll just say I'm happy with what we've done today. And I just kind of want to say thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You don't have to. You could have picked anybody else to watch, but you watched this one, so thank you very much. I think for the rest of this episode, I'm going to do a detailing thing where I just add paths and trees all over the city. And I think all the trees and paths I added before are actually starting to look pretty good. They're starting to age up. I think we're in the second year now. But yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the time lapse. And well, if you made it this far and you're not subscribed, I guess I might as well ask you to do so. So thank you. And I hope to see you in another episode. Bye for now.